So let's rank all the films I watched for the first time for the month of August 2023. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. Greetings, my fellow YouTubers. Welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Doyle, better known to you as the Big D, and this time around I'm going to give you another ranking. This time I'm going to give you my August 2023 first time watches. I watched 20 big films for the first time ever, some in the theater, well, a few, just a couple in theaters, and the rest were streaming and what have you. So anyway, I think this is gonna be a pretty big ranking. Some flicks might surprise you where they are, some may not. You be the judge and decide. Now I will pop up every time once I do this, so I'm gonna try not to go too fast, but I will go a little quick with brief thoughts on some of these, and some will be even quicker. Now, if you're ready, let's start this ranking. Sit back, relax, and here we go. Number 20 is the Emoji Movie from 2017. I definitely regret watching this. I know a lot of my folks I know, Ogre Boy especially, seen this and he didn't like it. Well, guess what? I don't like this from either. This is the worst, biggest disappointment from Sun Pictures Animation. It sucks. But I'm going to do a rant video, but I'll make it family friendly when I review this film, since this is a PG rated family film, you know. Not much to say. It just mega crap, you know. Okay, coming in at number 19 is North from 1994. This film is based on a book of the same name. While it does have a pretty good all-star cast of big characters, Elijah Wood plays the titular character. While the film's alright, they didn't give me much of a good laugh though. This film bombed at the box office big time. I just knew of it from reading about in the paper long ago, and I believe seeing spot for it on one of my Columbia TriStar video cassettes. Again, this film's not that great. Maybe I'll talk about it sometime. I don't know when though. Now coming in at number 18 is Vacation Friends 2. This premiered on Hulu recently. While it's not quite close to as good as its predecessor, though, but it's okay and what have you. It still feels like it's a slight retread of the first film, but it did have some pretty good action sequences in it. Check out my review of it if you haven't seen it already. I'm not gonna give too much details, but John Cena and the rest of the cast, they still were pretty funny though. Definitely. And coming in at number 17 is 976 Evil from 1989. This film was pretty frightening in some ways, but anyway, and this was directed by Robert Englund. Yes, you heard me correctly, as in Freddy Krueger. Robert Englund. The film was kind of strange, but it did have a few pretty good kills and what have you. I don't think the film is well great and all, but it is kind of freaky though. It does have a sequel, but I'm not sure if I'm going to watch it. If I happen to encounter it, maybe I'll look into it. This could possibly be reviewed sometime next month, but I'm not going to really jump ahead of myself because I do have other plans for Spooktacular October, okay? So enough said. 976 Evil, it's pretty good. Next, coming in at number 16, I believe. Yes, is Basket Case 3, The Progeny from 1991. Now, I watched the Basket Case trilogy for the first time ever. This film's kind of freaky and what have you, but it does have a few pretty good kills in it, though. It's kind of strange, though, but I'll talk more about it if I decide to review this trilogy. And I'm just going to say, These films are just so warped out and what have you. But anyway, the Basket Case films, they weren't too bad and what have you. Next, coming in at number 15 is Basket Case 2 from 1990. Now, we'll see where the first one winds up later on, but this film's pretty twisted and what have you, and it's really freaky and what have you. I'm glad it picks up where the first one left off years later and what have you. And I'm gonna say the new characters that were introduced weren't too bad, and especially the weird, twisted, strange-looking creatures you'd see, really freaky and really, I don't know, odd. Basket Case 2, I think it was good and what have you. I didn't mind what I saw, but it was pretty freaky though. And coming in at number 14 is Dr. Giggles from 1992. This film's pretty underrated, what have you. I've been wanting to see this film for some time, ever since some of my horror fanatic friends have been talking about it. And I've known about this film since before I was a teenager, but I just wasn't into seeing stuff like this yet anyway. But anyway, after finally seeing this film, I thought it was freaky and pretty bloody. Larry Drake does a great job in playing the title character. I'll talk more about this when I review this film. Who knows when it's gonna be? But anyway, Dr. Giggles, yeah, it's kind of freaky and what have you. Next, number 13 is Basket Case from 1982, the film that started it all. I gotta say, when I first watched the Basket Case film starting with this, I gotta say, this had a really strange story. A guy who's keeping his conjoined, well, no longer conjoined brother in a basket is on the run and what have you. And I gotta say, this is really, really freaky and what have you. The conjoined brother is really a freaky creature and what have you. I gotta say, this is just so scary and what have you. I think I should have had the other two higher than this, but this was my first time watching these, so maybe one day, mind you, they could be higher. But anyway, Basket Case was pretty freaky and what have you, and just so terrifying in some parts. Definitely. Now, coming in at number 12 is The Marine 2 from 2009. Now, this was a bit more intenser and what have you than the first film with John Cena. Ted DiBiase Jr. does a pretty good job in this. I will try and review this later on down the road, but I'll have to watch the other films and what have you, because there's 4 other films in the Marine franchise. But anyway, this film had some pretty intense action, but some of it was kind of a little, I don't know. But I thought it had some pretty good action sequences in it, though. The Marine 2, not bad, and what have you. And coming in at number 11 is The Prowler from 1981. Pretty good film, and what have you. I really liked it, involving a guy dressed up in a military outfit, getting a chance to, well, kill and what have you. Now, this film was also known as Rosemary's Killer as well. But I'll talk more about this when I review this film. I'm going to say this film had some pretty bloody and gory bits and what have you. So, yeah, I think I maybe watch this and maybe put on Spooktacular October. We'll see. Again, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves yet. But it can happen. But anyway, I like the sing and what have you. It was very good. The Prowler is just, well, so bloody. Next, coming in at number 10 is Air, which came out earlier this year. Now, this is the true story film of how Michael Jordan became a big name for Nike and what have you. I really thought this was pretty good. I did a mini reviews video of this with the film Champions, which that's still ahead on this ranking. Anyway, Ben Affleck and Matt Damon and everyone in this film was really good and what have you. I thought this had a pretty good cast and what have you. I guess it had some unexpected moments and what have you, but well, with some of its characters anyway. But anyway, Air was pretty good. I really enjoyed this for what it had to offer. Hmm. Yes. And coming in at number 9 is The Super from 1991. Now, I've been wanting to see this film for some time. I knew about this one after I read in booklets I got from the video rental store. I gotta say, Joe Pesci's absolutely hilarious in this film. After he did Home Alone and Goodfellas, as well as also Lethal Weapon 2, I must say he was just so funny. Now I like what one of the posts says: the best way to punish a slumlord is to make him a tenant. This film's absolutely crazy. This film unfortunately bombed at the box office, but I'm gonna try and review this film sometime down the road. Again, this film is just so underrated, but very darn funny though, definitely. Next, coming in at number 8 is The Fablemans from last year in 2022. Now, I will say, while this film didn't quite do so well, but it still got nominated for some awards and what have you, I still liked it for what it had to offer. I mean, I liked the sayings and what have you. The cast was pretty good. If you haven't seen my spoiler-free review of this, you may want to check it out since I'm not going to give too many details on it. But I will say it was pretty good, and Steven Spielberg did a great job with his directing of this story. Yeah, definitely. Now, coming in at number 7 is Champions, which came out earlier this year. Now, I will say I loved this movie. I did. This was included in my mini review with Air. Woody Harrelson did a hell of a job with this film. Of course, I like the handicapped people in this one. They were all really, really good. And let me tell you, I just had a whole lot to offer. Now, I've never actually encountered the original Spanish language type film this was based on, but well, who knows? If I encounter it, I may watch it. Well, it depends if it's subtitled or dubbed in English. But anyway, Champions is pretty good. You gotta check this one out, definitely. And coming in at number 6 is Heart of Stone. This is a recent Netflix film with Gal Gadot, and I'm going to say I loved her performance in this. If you haven't seen my spoiler free review of this film, you should check it out. This was just pretty good. It kind of felt like it was a Mission Impossible movie, only with a gal playing the main character. And I'm just going to say it was so good. Netflix is saying they're planning to make this a film franchise. We'll hope for the best that this does. I would love to see a sequel to this, definitely. But as always, let's not get far ahead of ourselves. But it could happen. It was pretty good and action packed. Check out my review of it if you haven't. Now, coming in at number 5 is You Are So Not Invited to My Bat Mitzvah. This is another Netflix film. This recently premiered not so long ago. It has Adam Sandler back with Idina Menzel after Uncut Gems, plus Sandler's own wife and 2 kids, Sadie and Sonny. I'm going to say this film's absolutely really funny, and it's kind of got some fun moments. If you haven't seen my review of this yet, you better check it out. I liked it. This is probably one of the biggest things that's even though Adam Sandler's been in some time. This film's already gotten good reviews, and it's the highest certified fresh film that Sandler's been in that's gotten a big score on the Rotten Tomatoes Tomato Meter to date. Definitely check out my review of it. It's fun and whatever. It has its moments though. Now coming in at number 4 is The Whale from last year in 2022. I am going to say this film was just so good and pretty sad in ways. Check out my review of it if you haven't. Brendan Fraser did such an excellent job in playing the lead character in this. Again, I thought it was just so amazing, and it had a few sad moments and what have you. The rest of the characters are really good as well. Definitely check out my review if you haven't. Now coming in at number 3 is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. Now, this recently came to theaters, and it's still doing pretty good. It's already the highest, most viewed, and best reviewed Ninja Turtles film on the Tomato Meter at Rotten Tomatoes, definitely. This is a pretty good, fun-filled animated film. I really enjoyed it for what it had to offer. A lot of good characters we know from the comics, the cartoons, or I don't know what have you, where you've seen these other great characters in the Ninja Turtles universe. Definitely good. I hope there'll be a sequel. Well, they did say they're going to do that. If you haven't seen my spoiler-free review of this film, check out. It's got lots of good laughs and good action. Definitely. Now the next one will be a wee bit of a shock or a surprise to you. Okay? So, but please don't shoot me for having something like this in second place. Coming in at number 2 is Star Fairies from 1985. Now, this is a Hanna-Barbera animated special that came out to possibly make it as a TV series in syndication, but it didn't. Though it does have a couple of familiar voices from big celebrities like which are Jonathan Winters and Drew Barrymore. I'm going to say this is probably a long lost Hanna-Barbera gem. You can find the full special on YouTube. Check it out. It's based on the probably a long lost toy line from Tonka Toys. This, along with a pilot special film for the Pound Puppies, which also was produced by Hanna-Barbera, came out about the same time. But anyway, I thought this was very cute and fun filled and very magical as well. I consider this to be like a precursor to Winx Club in ways. Anyway, Star Fairies, it's a pretty cute animated special. Again, you can find the full special on YouTube. I'll definitely need to review this soon. And my number 1 first time watch of August 2023 is Blue Beetle. Yes, now this is a good DC film. Well, despite their previous films have all become big disappointments in my view, this is still trying to become a disappointment. And even if it does, I think it still did well. At least its reviews are much better than what we got with The Flash and Shazam Fury of the Gods. I thought everyone in this was really good. It had some pretty good fun moments, pretty good heartfelt moments, and good action, what have you. Check out my spoiler-free review of this if you have not seen this film. I think you're going to enjoy it, I hope. But anyway, Blue Beetle was awesome. I don't care what you say. That's my ranking of my first time watches for August 2023. What did you think of this? What's your top favorite flick of August 2023? Well, first time watch, that is. You can give me your number 1, your top 3, or top 5 tops. Leave them for me in the comment section below. If you liked the video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Join me next time when I bring to you a review of Predator 2. So I do hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, check out my reviews for these films. In the upper left-hand corner is my spoiler-free review of Blue Beetle. The upper right-hand corner is my spoiler-free review of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. And the bottom left-hand corner is my spoiler-free review of The Whale. And the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.